Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the MWA official podcast. Now, we've got something a little special today. Depending on what version you're watching, we now have cameras. Yeah, I don't. But these people do. Jacob's staring at. Jacob's scary. But like I said, Jacob, one of my other co-hosts, as per usual. What's up, Jacob?
What's popping, my sinners? I am Jacob Sterry, the Synfluencer, your one true pillar. Also, I need to be known, Faywin stole my hair, my gimmick, he stole everything. Faywin is just a copycat of me.
I mean,
Jacob, I was gonna fucking bring that up, but in fucking...
Yes, talking of Faywin, before we get to our normal co-host, you see him right there. We have Faywin joining us as our guest today. How are you doing, Faywin?
Hello. I am good. First time on the podcast, and it should be an honor for you guys. Greatest spotlight champion of all time. Let me just put this out onto
Yeah, the best
Hang on
logo
a
in
minute.
wrestling history, baby.
Got the visual, and of course we are joined by our other co-host, Jonathan Colt. Colt, how are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Great to have this camera on, by the way. Great to know that this Logitech works.
Oh yeah.
For anyone who's watching the video, ignore what just happened.
All kind of
I was gonna say, I accidentally moved the layer of Dobby's image around, so he just sort of popped up over Faywin's face, and then half of him was cut off by my body for a moment.
Jump scares. We are still teething problems with this new format. But Faywin, this is a special episode. And as the first guest with a camera on, we have to ask you the questions that we ask every guest. First of all,
yes.
What are your thoughts on Raging Rich's hair?
Yeah, fucker stole my hair dye shtick, and Jacob, yeah, don't you fucking dare bring up again the fact that you did the green hair dye first. This is my answer, therefore it is my reality.
Also,
I reject the truth.
This is my reality! Sorry.
Is Raging Rich a femboy?
100%.
See? This guy gets
it. This is a good guess.
This is fact.
Just want to point out before we get on to the third question that Colt loves asking. Faywin was the only one, when invited to the group chat, to actually say Skillo alongside us.
I know, it's so depressing.
Guys,
I've just improved such a big teething problem.
Oh no.
I had my mic slightly popping up over my nameplate, and I've just slightly moved it down, and now it just looks so much cleaner.
Hey, teething problems, like we said. Colt, do you want to ask the third question that you keep asking now?
Okay. Faywin, is Breezy's mother hella busty?
I haven't seen her, and even I know the answer is yes.
Yeah!
Base.
Let's go.
I don't even know if Breezy listens to these, but you know. Anyway, before we get into Unleash from last night, as always, we've got some promos to cover this week. This is a pretty good week for promos. I like this week. Some fun stuff. Two things that really stood out to me in particular. But let's start off with, bear with me. This is the Saints and Breezy phone call, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me double check.
I believe it was, because I think we spoke about the first Dark Aria thing last week, because we were speculating.
Oh, yes, you are correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are correct, yes. Mr. Kyle.
This being the Saints and Breezy phone call. This referencing Breezy's, just before his retirement tour, where Saints calls him up and says, hey, I know you're going out there to announce this retirement tour, in heavy quotations. Why don't you wear an SCS shirt? See who picks up on it. See if they're onto you. Now, of course, referencing that promo where he announced a tour and was wearing the SCS. I think it was a jumper. I think I spoke to him at the time about it as well, and
sure
why. Was it a t-shirt? I don't know.
T-shirt.
He was wearing something SCS on his torso. That's for sure. But I remember this at the time. I found that interesting, and for them to spin it into this way is a really good way for me to see. I think the Saints have been doing a fantastic job in fixing the milky booking that sort of made Breezy look really weak and stuff. I'm really enjoying what we're getting to see from Saints and just the SCS generally right now. But Jacob, do you have any thoughts on this?
I quite like the idea of this sort of promo where they're going back in time, showing what's happened in the past. It's something I think should be done more to give backstory to a story that's going on, instead of just what a lot of people are doing, I believe, including myself, are just going in a promo, here's our backstory. I've told you, now you know. These two are actually going back, presenting what's happened, and not just a retelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I was going to say something else, but I completely forgot. Yeah, actually, no, it's not the first time we've seen it from him as well, because obviously he referenced Breezy throwing in a towel and giving Ultraviolet the tag team titles on, was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago now? I can't remember. But yeah, he referenced that on you can see Jacob leaving. We get to see this every week. But yeah, like I said, he's been referencing these like little things as of late, and he's got his merch. We've been referencing these little things as of late, and I just really like how this has been being built. As you see Jacob putting on his own merch like a mark. But Colt,
imagine not coming prepared with your own merch.
Nerd. Colt, what were your thoughts on this cool?
I should get Rich to replace this with like an actual promo shot of mine.
No.
So there's just two me's.
Yeah. Colt,
why
what
am
were
I
your
so
thoughts on
bright
this
now?
promo?
The fuck?
Thanks, Colt. Very cool.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. No. I thought this was good. I think Jacob makes a really good point when he says like, the Saints and Breezy are kind of like calling back to like past events to like further their storyline. And I think that's something unique and a lot more people should do in the near future, because it gives your storyline like a lot more depth, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yee.
Yeah, I like it more than the deciphering stuff.
Yeah.
I think that
it's a nice break for the deciphering, in my opinion.
It is, yeah. I actually like having something to like listen to. Yeah, like I said, I'm not huge on like text promos, even with the deciphering stuff. So
boom,
this is just fun. Phelan, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah. So I mean, they already brought up like it's I like how they went back in time, but I feel like this is a really cool way of them kind of like Saints almost like retconning the kind of stuff that happened with the SCS, the Milky Book, because he has been pretty vocal about his dislike of that era of the SCS. So I really like what he's done to kind of like make it make sense in like his current vision of the SCS almost.
No, I agree with that. Make it make sense. No, yeah, I really enjoyed this. I love what Saints is doing. I think he's one of the best storytellers we have on the roster. Obviously, one of the best promos we have on the roster as well. And I really enjoy what Breezy's doing. You know, he had his match with Doppel this week. We'll get onto that a little bit later.
I just realised, is this our first week without a Feywind promo? And we've got Feywind on here, so we can't even have Dobby dancing around saying it.
Oh God, it doesn't.
It feels correct.
No. Okay, he does mention it on the show itself.
Yes.
So we can reference that. But no, yeah, this like I said, this was a really fun promo. I don't have too much more to add on to it. If anyone else has anything to add, if not, we can move on to the next promo.
No, I think I've said my
piece. That's definitely silence. Okay. Our next one, the Vox weakness promo.
Do we have to?
Dobby,
I'm gonna try my best to be nice.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't have a lot to say on this one. It was.
What the fuck was this set?
This was a throwback to his. He did this. I know he used this.
Well, that was I feel like he used this back in like the Lotus days.
Yeah, that was.
I don't give a shit. It looks shit.
Yeah, this was. I don't want to be mean, but this is like by far for me the least memorable promo this week.
This promo this promo feels like the Minecraft wrestling equivalent of really shoddily cutting out your green screen so there's like a green layer around you. That's what this set reminds me of. I won't lie. I watched this promo twice not once did I like hear what he was saying. I was just more focused on looking around and going, "What the fuck is this?" He sat on
Yeah.
a bed with a banner behind him, and he wants it to look like a throne.
Yeah, no, I don't have. I'm trying to think of like ways to be constructive about this, but this is, I don't know, Vox right now. I feel like he's in a really, really tough position. I feel
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
Vox.
he needs
Vox
a
is kind of
character
in limbo.
overhaul.
Yeah,
He needs a character overhaul badly. I was talking
he
to I think
does.
Cassidy and Breezy about this beforehand. I feel like Vox is just the way I look at it, right, is we have maybe the strongest roster we've had in like God knows how long. So I feel like the way Vox is right now, where the character's like very iffy, the in-ring stuff is like just fine. There's nothing really making Vox stand out in what is ultimately one of the best rosters we've ever had, to me. And I feel like something needs to change personally to keep me
See,
intrigued in Vox.
what's really depressing for me, like about this whole Vox thing, is once again, we've said this many times. We have been very nice about this sort of stuff because Vox is very creative. He's very willing to learn. He's very willing to take that feedback.
Yeah,
But it feels like he's just continuously trying to hit something with this character, and he needs to realize it's not working, and he needs to change it up.
yeah.
What you just
Um,
said in the podcast is almost bar for bar something Crew said about me in 2020.
yeah.
Like,
I just wanted to say the way he's doing this character to me feels like it's well, obviously he's on the throne, like Faywin said in the Lotus era. It feels like he's doing a Lotus style and like a Lotus era character, but he doesn't have anyone around him to play off of, and that's really,
oh
really
my
hurting
god,
him.
he's the Roman Reigns of the Shield.
Oh my
They
god.
they broke up, and then he went, "I'm keeping all of this. This is mine. You two change song. You two change clothes. This is my thing. I get to keep
Yeah.
it. I get the fancy
Tribal
vest."
Chief Box.
Chief
That's gonna be
Box.
so fucking money.
Yeah, acknowledge him. I'm just curious to see how Nuck Booking will like combat this in the coming weeks. To be honest,
Is Vox
That's-
your tribal chief?
Yes.
actually,
I
you know, what,
acknowledge my tribal chief.
we always do the little text bit. Go in the main Discord, go in general, tag Vox, and go. I acknowledge you, my tribal Vox.
I will not
yeah.
be doing that because I
With this emoji-
specifically betrayed him because I
Oh, yeah.
did not see him as that.
With
With
the
the
pointing
finger-
up emoji.
You got to get the pointing up emoji. My tribal Vox.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll let you guys talk on it a bit more because I feel like I've said my piece.
I've said a
I'll
lot
go
on this
first.
promo.
All right, I'll
Yeah,
go
Favorite
first.
Colt.
You know, I love Vox. I think he's a fantastic guy. That said, this shit sucks. I've said it on the last iteration of the podcast. The fucking match with Slick did not help him at all. It fucking buried him and made him look like a fucking retard. You know what I mean? And now this promo does not do him any favors. Now Fox has jabronied himself. He has become a jabroni. He is on the same field of jabroni as like a Kyle Cardova or a Tim freaking Smith. He is going down to that level, and I do not want to see him go down to that level. I love Fox. I think I agree with you, Jacob. He is a very creative mind, and I think he can do way fucking better than this. Fox, if you're
Yeah.
listening to this, please change! Change, Fox, please! Please change!
I hope you guys all did a visual one for that part specifically. But Faywin, do you have anything to add on?
Yeah, I think it would really just be piggybacking off what you guys said. Vox, I feel, yeah, Vox kind of just needs a big character refresh. I
Yeah.
don't think he can really do anything else with this character that would intrigue anyone.
And Vox, once again,
Oh yeah,
let's just reiterate this because I think we forgot to mention it last week. Do not do the Fiend. You are not the Fiend.
No
You will
Fiend.
never be the Fiend. No more
There is
Fiends.
a lot. There's a lot, like you guys have said. There's a lot more stuff he can do that's not along the lines of like spooky and that. I think Vox has the potential to be like a different type of heel. What
And-
that is, he can test out, but
What I will say is he needs a character that can fit his in-ring ability, that can fit his what's the words I'm looking for? That fit his style of wrestling. Because right now,
Yeah.
I'm spooky. doesn't really fit the skill set I would see him having. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean to be rude. He's trying very hard to improve, and I think he will improve at some point. But right now, he's not the best in ring,
Yeah.
and he needs a character that can. Basically, his character needs to be up here because his in ring is here. Because he can get a character that's up here. Like, look at Slick. Slick's a good example for this. Slick is fucking down here in ring, but up here when it comes to his character. Vox needs something similar.
Yeah. No, I liked what Vox had going in the Lotus when he was sort of less spooky and more just a sadistic guy using chains to choke people out over the ropes. I think the way Faywin does his character is sort of the direction I think Vox should go, away from like creepy and just I'm going insane, but like for a different reason. So Faywin, his title reign doesn't feel right, but Vox is unable to capture the glory he had with the TV title. You have to do the thing. No, yeah.
Fuck, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I think there's some like there's a lot more Vox can do to keep me intrigued personally. If he needs any advice, obviously put in a ticket. Vox, like we said, great at taking advice. But yeah, I feel like having the help of other people to like build this new character would help him very much so. But does anyone else have anything to add before we get on to our next promo?
No.
I've got something to say about this next promo.
I was going to say that Jacob's got something to say about this one. Jacob, I'll let you start off. This, of course, being the Saints and Breezy interrupting like a Gup Odyssey episode with an ad. Go ahead, Jacob.
They are using my name, my brand, everything about me. They are using my likeness. And they're not giving me a cut. So my lawyers will be in touch with them. They can either take the product down and stop selling it, or they can give me my rightful cut. The cheap bastards.
Wait.
This Jacob and Saints promo was going to go fucking hard.
Me and Saints have agreed that me and Saints have got something planned without Booker's knowledge.
Oh god, I need to see this. Colt is shocked. I love this promo. Of course, this was referencing the Steel City survival kit. That, of course, being what you'll need when Breezy, in his own words, says he's going to win the world title, and is running this place. It had stuff such as the Jacob Sterry logo. What I don't even know what it was. A logo something to shove up his arse.
I think that was a sensor bar.
Right,
yeah,
okay,
I think the Synfluencer thing was a sensor bar.
I like how the sensor bar was the logo itself. It does not include a gun. Saints made that part very clear. Breezy pulled out a gun mid promo. That was my favorite part of it. And Saints just had to be like, "We're not going to shoot him." It was just it had like food and shit in it as well. This was really creative. I love that they hacked Gup Odyssey as well. I found that really funny. That cut off the intro. And we'll see that touched on a little bit later as well. But this is like a lot of fun. I love the dynamic Breezy and Saints have going. Obviously, like them two being friends, it always helps. Like when you're in a faction or a group with your friends, obviously you're gonna have like a lot of chemistry to build off of. But yeah, I really like this. It's really funny. Good little promo.
That's why Rich and Richard never worked, because we actually hate each other with a fiery passion.
Yeah, they are bitter rivals.
Until the end.
Who you
got? I mean, it was a funny promo. That's like most of it. I do like the fact that they hacked Gup Odyssey because we have already seen that kind of ultraviolet SCS kind of those interactions.
Yeah.
Recently. So I do like the fact that that's kind of a bit of a connection to that.
Yeah.
Kara was not Cass. So I do like the fact that those interactions, they kind of like intentional or not, there was a bit of a connection there.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. Colt, got anything to add?
Yeah, I thought this was pretty good. I actually liked this. At first, I didn't know how to like kind of feel about it. I thought it was kind of a bit too silly for like what Breezy and Saints are doing, but after like a bit of reconsideration, I will say that like this is a pretty fun promo in its own right, and I do like seeing a bit of more comedic side out of Saints and Breezy. I think they're out of character. They're both really funny fucking guys. So
Yeah.
I like seeing them bring in that comedic element
mean-
here, even if like at first it wasn't like what I would have had them do here.
For me, the vibe I got was, yes, they're heels, yes, they're bad guys, but at the end of the day, they're bullies and they're just friends.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
you're not going to see bullies not have a laugh with each other, not make a joke.
That's fair.
Like,
yeah.
it's like my
Yeah.
character. Yes, I have my serious moments, but quite a lot I'm making dumb jokes, which is sort of the character that works with that dynamic.
Yeah.
Like
I
they're
mean,
bad guys, but they still want to have fun.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
girls, they want to have fun.
That's like the
Girls,
funny
They
thing.
wanna have fun.
But yeah, the reason that works for me as well is because Saints in the promo is so clearly against the idea of being silly. Like in kayfabe, he's like, "Oh, I don't really want to do this," and Breezy has to convince him. And I feel like that sort of shows the influence Breezy has on Saints to like have him lighten up a bit, which I found fun, and it's a nice little dynamic to have. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this a lot. I hope to see more silly stuff between these guys in future. Does anyone have anything to add before we get into the big debate in MWA in our next promo?
No,
no.
No?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Okay,
can't
that
stop picking
big
your
debate.
nose.
That big debate, of course, being Dark Aria. They posted their second promo this week. I believe this is just after the show. You can hear it. I just clicked on it because I forgot to there's binary code in the description.
I think I translated that somewhere.
I did last night. I'm gonna redo it. But before we get into that part, talking on the promo itself, I believe it was the same footage as last week, or very similar, except for the fact we saw a few things flash on the screen during it, and also the sign changes right at the end. It says, you know how it said "stop now before you break." It then switches to saying, "You deserve this" in the glowing white outline. It was pretty similar to like the first one, but it's obviously built upon it. We see some stuff pop up, and then right at the end, it's like I just played it again. We see this like scary face pop up, and that's the end of the promo. I'm just super intrigued with this. I feel like the way it's being brought across, I feel like everyone saw on the Discord as well. Dark Aria was responding to people's DMs and giving them these little nuggets of advice and like maybe hints or like red herrings to the character. And I feel like this to me still just really lends itself to be Taco. I feel like the other
Ooh, I
options
actually
we've
never thought Taco.
the
Bro doesn't
options
listen
we've
to the
discussed,
podcast.
yeah. The options we've discussed prior, like I think we've had Hazel in it. Who else have we discussed? Hazel.
Hi, Taco Taco, and I think that's
Is
it.
it? Okay, yeah. I just, if this is somehow Hazel, I just don't see her having this sort of creative mind. Hazel was never a big gimmick person.
I don't
so
see Hazel doing anything quality or decent or even
What the
good
fuck?
or even fine,
yeah.
really.
burying Hazel on the podcast.
No, I
Burying the
just feel like
French.
Taco is he for a long time he's just one of the most underrated, but now everyone knows how like insane of a worker Taco is. I'm like really intrigued with this now, and I feel like this just lends itself to being something like Taco, someone like Taco doing. I have translated the binary code once again.
I
Colt,
did
do you want to be the one to read it out?
Okay. So, the binary code in the description reads out to, "It's inside me, breathing, using my eyes to see. It's like an evil from a Pandora's box. Now then,
We'll
it
get into
won't
that.
be long until it wants a little taste of that greatness."
Exactly, yes, exactly that. Pandora's box, you know, the one that was held by Taco, and also Rock, but I digress.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Wait. You say Ruck. You say Ruck, right?
Rock.
So that one of the little images that like flash on screen, right? I don't know
Yes.
if I'm fucking crazy here, but like there's a shot of like in
Is
ring.
it the MWA ring?
Yeah, the MWA ring.
Okay,
and
I've
you can see
I've
like
got up here.
the top like the top right corner, is that? I think that's Rock's avatar, right?
I'm not
That's him?
sure.
That
I'm
might
I'm
be
trying-
him.
I'm
Like,
looking at it right now. I see the MWA. I see the announce table of the old logo. I see the ref. I see someone with a beard. You're right, but I
Yeah,
don't
that
think
might
that's
be
Rock.
Rock. Are they teasing Rock, or is it just kind of like a swerve?
If
Where it's
this
like,
if this is Rock, I'd be so into it. But I don't. The way I see it, right, is I feel
because
like
Rock
it's
also hold the Pandora's box.
he did, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with the way Dark Aria's been talking, I could just see this being a massive red herring. And
Yeah.
they've obviously seen us accusing Taco of being Dark Aria in the Discord, so maybe they've seen that and like, okay, if I use the Taco basis, if it isn't actually Taco, if I use the Taco basis and run with that, they won't suspect me, whoever is behind it, and then so they're just sort of going that way. Because there was a lot of stuff that let me get up my DMs with Dark Aria. They've made a lot of references to like people who aren't Taco or Rock. Let me look. Who they said? They made a reference to War, which could be like Saints or Kenna. I asked them their favorite move though. They said CTE, which was a Rock move. I believe it was a Brainbuster. What
Yeah,
else has
CTE
Dark Aria said to
Brainbuster.
me? I sent them. I sent them. I think Colt will know this one. The fuck you Brainbuster. I sent them the GIF. Where they like throw them, just drop them on the neck. And Dark Aria responded, "A monarch should be ever intent on their conquest. Keep that one in mind."
I just
And
got
it
a
says,
DM from
"Fuck you
Dark
too."
Aria.
Oh, it was one of us. Clearly, if they're DMing you right now. Conquest. That was a faction. I can't remember who it was made up of because I was not here when it happened. I guess this is time to go on the wiki and look up Conquest. I believe it
That
was.
reminds me of when, like, I think Nuck said it in the Discord a little while ago, but he said, like, from the fucking Mem return at Heatwave, he was like, Conquest is back!
Yeah.
And then he got told that Mem was never part of Conquest, and it was, like, really funny.
I need to find it now. I
I just
believe
went
it
on the
was.
wiki and Conquest didn't show up when I searched it.
No, Mem
search
was
no,
in
yeah.
Conquest. So it
Wait.
was Mem, Matty, and Omega, I believe.
Okay, so
were
Mem, Maddie,
Conquest.
Omega. So that means, like, okay, so Kong wasn't part of Conquest.
Conquest, though, Conquest having Matty in it. I'm just gonna confirm that before I continue on this path. Okay, Matty was in Conquest. That could be another reference to Rock, because obviously Matty and Rock were like a team in kayfabe. Obviously, good friends. We saw that a lot.
Both of them
Yeah.
did log onto the server a few weeks ago, if you
They
noticed. So you know, not saying.
I'm
Hey,
very curious now.
B-Dubs has been back for a bit.
B-Dubs, maybe.
He was there for the last show.
The Dark
B-Dubs,
Aria B-Dubs.
There is a lot of stuff. I'm so curious. How whoever's doing this, I find you very intrigued. I'm just trying to find who this like still images of on the promo. Okay, no, that is Rock. I'm 99% sure you're right. I just want to
Why
like
don't
a
you
frame
message
ahead.
Steve and find out? He'll know. Steve always
Yeah, that's
knows.
true. Actually, Steve just would know. No, I
Hey
believe that
Steve,
is Rock. I think
do you
you're
know
right.
who Dark Aria is? You know.
Is this
If
Rock?
in doubt, Steve.
I'm very blind. This looks to be. I think that is Rock, but I don't know. I feel like Rock, Taco, the Pandora's box feels a little too obvious. So I kind of feel like it might be a red herring, but I don't know. I'm very curious now.
I mean, I could see it being Coloki maybe.
Loki's
Like I feel like
a shout.
that might be a bit less. I don't know. I could see it being Coloki.
I
based
could
off his
see it
previous
fitting
gimmicks.
the Coloki vibe. I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
But I'm so curious to see where this
Wait.
goes. I feel like at
Wait.
No.
Okay. Okay, so that's still image. That's still image, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I was wrong. It wasn't Rock.
Oh.
It's actually Coloki. I'm on the
Oh.
Extreme Chaos 7. Like,
God, you're right. It is
the
Coloki.
person,
That
no,
beard.
the person in the white boots that's like across from it is B-Dubs, and the other person
Yeah.
on the other side is Coloki.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
And then
Because Rock,
you guys were also bringing up
Rock
the
was
Colt.
fighting Omega in that cage match.
Yeah,
I love
So
how
that
much
wasn't
input I can give on
Interesting.
this part of the podcast.
nice.
But you guys were also bringing up the Mark and Matty or Ruck and Matty stuff,
Yeah,
like
the
teaming up
gallery.
run, like the gallery. Cloaky was also in that, so that could be the connection. There could be a connection to that as well.
Yeah, Dobby was
My
also in
DMs with
that.
Dark Aria. I was, but like not technically. I didn't get to that point. I was meant to be in it. I was the leader, behind the scenes. Curious though if this is
Alright,
Cloaky,
mastermind thing.
because the person says, I mean, Dark Aria says I messaged them asking how they're doing, because everyone was asking who is Dark Aria, but not how is. I say I asked that, and they respond, "It is doing well. It won't bother you for now."
It's Doppel.
Interesting. Damn. Obviously, me and Cloaky have a lot of history. I was the one to send him on maybe retirement. I don't know if he's coming back. Not clearly retirement, but I was the one to put him on the shelf. We were a team, obviously. He took the national title from me. We have a lot of history. So I could see it being Cloaky and him coming for me down the line. Because he talked about not finishing his story, right? Or Dark Aria does, sorry. And Cloaky never finished the story. He had 2 world title matches, never reached the top of the mountain. Could that be the story he's trying to finish? Who knows? But
Take off story.
I've yapped for long enough. Does anyone else have anything to add on
I'm
Dark
locking in
Aria?
on Alright, so we have 4 suspects right now. We got Taco, Hazel, Cloaky, or Ruck. We're locking in on those 4.
One of these is not like the other.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it's not Hazel. So Taco Taco, Cloaky, or Ruck. We're locking in on those 3.
Yeah, I'm confident in one of those 3. I'm very excited to see how this goes. I think any of those 3 guys will be like a massive star power addition to the roster.
You are all African American men, and Mark. We fucking
Plus
with Mark, because Mark fucking with us.
with Mark because Mark rock with us.
Marcus
yeah,
Fuckwood.
I love this. I love watching this shit. Anyone got anything to add before we go on to the Atom promo? Nope. Cool. The Atom promo, of course, coming after his match on Unleashed, which we'll get into a bit later. I recorded this.
I am so confused by this promo, because am I the only one that doesn't know the segment he's referencing in this, where he went backstage and spoke to Cruz about being number 30?
Did you not hear the announcement from Nuck?
I did not.
He said on it was either on commentary or like just in the voice chat. It was on
commentary.
After. Yeah, he said, you know how Cass pushed Atom out the way to do the thing to El Wormo. Nuck announced later on in the night that for the spring, what was it, spring break show next week, Atom will face Cassidy. Winner gets number 30 in the Rumble. Loser gets number 1.
Oh, that's fun.
That's what he was referencing here. Yes,
Alright, so Adam's going to be number 1 of the Rumble, and Cassie's going to be number 30. We're locking it in, fellas.
Yeah.
I think it's the other way around. I think it's the other way around.
Ooh.
I think Cassidy gets number 1 and tries to Iron Man. Gets really far.
She's a woman.
Is she though?
Like... What? Whoa.
Not no.
Hey, listen, I would know. I'm just saying. I would know. I would know.
Hey, yo. Pause. I could see it either way, to be honest. I could see Atom being like number 1 and like clinging on to the ropes for dear life and like lasting for a long time. Just like a little shit weasel guy.
That could be fun.
Or I could, well, either way it's heel, but I feel like.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Hello. I got a prediction. Okay, so in the event that Cassidy gets number 1 and Adam gets number 30, right? What if Adam gets number 30, right? But the fucking lights in the arena goes out. Adam's just down the ground. He's like when they come back on, Adam's down the fucking ground. He's like beating the shit out of. He's fucking bloodied. And then the lights go out again, and in the ring pops up to the Dark Aria. Oh, the Dark Aria is the one who's number 30.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I like think it should get more build. I think it should be more than 2 weeks of build. Personally,
I feel like it's.
Nah, we're rushing this shit, and you're gonna like it.
I don't know,
motherfucker.
Bro does not.
I like the idea, but I'm curious to see how that will go. talking on the promo, it was a fine enough promo. Atom did
Yeah.
shit talking. Atom, I don't lose. I'm Atom. I'm cool. Lol. Atom stuff. It was a fun promo. I'm more excited for the match that it leads to. I think that'll be a fun little match, and it's someone. I feel like Atom's not had anyone like particularly great or like experience other than Schiff and now Cassidy to work with. And I think it's going to be very beneficial to him next week. I like this. You guys got anything to add? Thank you. Feywind?
Nah.
No? Okay, cool. That brings us on to our last thing. Our favourite part of the podcast every week. Gup Odyssey. Yeah. This one was it like around Doki Doki Literature Club, I believe?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know,
it's
I've not played it.
DDLC.
Yeah, this
Terry used a lot of the backgrounds from the
yeah.
game.
I thought I
Shit was
recommended it. I never
spooky.
played it myself. This was labeled Shrinking Violets, the Friendship Simulator. Of course, this was starring Cassidy and Tara, as per usual. And we hear someone gets murdered in a different room. Oh my god, who was it? I think it was heavily implied to be Saints.
Yeah, that's my thought as well.
It's
Yeah.
never said directly, but the way Cass is like, I think she says he tried to torment you. They were getting in your face, blah blah blah. That just is to a T what Saints was doing when he tried to recruit Tara for a tag match. I still think, I think this is building towards Cass being linked with Saints, and this is her being like a false hero. And I think personally that's what was symbolized in later in the promo when we see Cass burying Tara. I think that is her actually linking up with Saints and joining up with him. And her killing Saints, which is her denouncing him in kayfabe, is just like a front. And it's sort of
I'd
like
like that.
that sort of story. I think that is like a lot of a good story to base it off of. I like the hints. As always, fantastic promo. No one's doing it like Tara. I know she said many times this was a fucking pain to draw all the shit for, but this she just keeps hitting the mark every time.
Gup is so slay, girl boss.
How has she done this with so many styles and it's still not got stale? This is insane. Colt, do you have anything to add?
If the next Gup Odyssey is good, I will shoot on Block Terra. I will shoot on Block Terra if the next Gup Odyssey is good. That is not a joke. I will unblock her if the next Gup Odyssey is good, because this was absolutely phenomenal shit. Like, I keep saying it's phenomenal shit because that's what it is. It's phenomenal. It's fucking amazing. Like, nobody's doing it like her with these promos. And we discussed this on the podcast before. We're like, she can't really like come to a lot of shows because she's working, but yeah, she's working, but she's keeping her character fresh by like doing all these promos, and it's really fucking fun. And I love seeing this shit. Like, I'll never get tired of this.
Tara is, I can't remember what year, but Tara is Zack Ryder when he did the Internet Championship thing. And everyone in the crowd was like, we want them. And then the bookers were like, nah.
Well, this isn't so much the booker's fault because, like Colt said, Tara very busy, but I feel like she's still
Taco.
doing.
Fuck you, Nuck. This is what you're. Yeah. You're not pushing the women because you're sexist. You fucking sexist pigs.
Allegations on the podcast. No, this was like always. This was fantastic. I'm just really hoping sooner or later we can get like some Tara on the screen stuff to like build this more. But that is obviously hard to do when she's busy all the time. But no, this is fantastic as always. Phelan, have you got anything to add?
It's insane that Tara doesn't speak and is still the best promo in the fucking company.
Tara does speak, just not to you people.
You people.
Like I still remember when she like unmutes in MWA VC and everyone's like, huh?
Huh?
Like, she's spoken on camera once and is still the best promo in the company.
I watch TV with her, so.
And it will be shift up.
That's what she fucking sounds like. Good impression, Dobby.
Thank you. This was great as always. I don't have anything else to add. That it's like the opposite problem for me to the Vox promo in the fact that it was too good. I almost don't have anything to say.
Yeah.
It's not like I can give her feedback, because she's doing shit better than even I could like imagine to do. So all I can just say as a viewer is I think this is fantastic as always.
So annoying knowing that I will never be as good as Tara is at promos.
Real.
It's so annoying that you know that you'll never be as good as a Spotlight champion as Jacob Sterry.
Oi.
Yeah, because I'm already better.
Girls are fighting. Does anyone have anything to add before we get into the show itself for the week? Huh?
Nope.
Wonderful.
No.
It's time for Unleashed. Yay. Unleashed kicked off this week with me and Schmoppy Dot. Because Slick was stuck in the car park. Silly Slick, mate. What the fuck? Cole is being mean to me. Jacob is too. Baywind isn't. Baywind, you should be the most mean. There you go. Okay. This was me and Doppel basically announcing ourselves for the Rumble. Slick too. I had a note from Slick. I hope Hip Hop Jacob that I canonize Hello Slunk. I saw the chance when Slick wasn't on. I asked him.
It was already canonized because it was in my promo
on the main show.
Okay, fine.
But what's it called? Yeah, I saw Slick wasn't on. I asked him, can I just read out a note? And I just freeballed it being really stupid because I think that's how Slick would write. Hello, my name is Slunk. I am announced for Rumble. I get 0 elimination. And
Bro just reads like a really depressing, dark note and goes, "Oops, wrong one."
Guys, I didn't want to do this, but I felt really depressed as of. Oh wait, that's my note.
He then pulls out another bit of paper. Cabbage 349. Lettuce 450. Shit, that's my receipt.
But yeah, we spoke about being in the Rumble. Doppel touched on their match with that guy, right? Well, wanting a match with that guy right there. And then that guy came out. Hi, Feywind. You came to the ring.
Hello.
I hated 2 out of 3 people in this segment.
Don't call me a little shit. I'm really sad.
Is he wrong though?
No, I am a massive shit. I'm hench, bro. Look at the muscles. I take steroids.
Yeah, look at this guy in the shower. Look at him.
No, yeah.
Look at him in the shower. Feywind, point to your left. That way.
There you go. Yeah.
Look at him.
Talking on steroids, though, someone else on the card definitely took them. But we'll get on that a bit later. Yes, Feywind comes out and he's like, "Oi, can't. You right? I don't know.
Why'd you go Australian?
I don't know why he's Australian.
Cole, stop picking your schnoz.
Yeah, Cole.
No, listen. I think I got like a whitehead in here somewhere.
Yeah, he comes out and he's like, "Oi, Doppel, if you want another match, I'll fucking murder you because beating Dobby did not feel right." Yeah. So he comes out and he's like, "Yeah, I'll face you next week, dickhead." And then Doppel's like, "Okay." And then the segment end, and then we happy and yay.
We know it, so we clap our
about
hands.
This was pretty much just us getting our little stuff across. Yes, this was just us getting our stuff across, announcing ourselves for the Rumble. I feel like it was obvious we were going to be in it, with no real stories around. But this was fun to do. I liked it. I liked the silly little Slick note. That was fun. Anything to add, Colt, Jacob?
That was such a short promo from Feywind. I've never been prouder of him.
I actually mentioned that on the show. I go, at least he didn't yap.
Guys,
Feywind finally cut the short promo. My goodness.
Do you guys remember when we had
I've been cutting shorter promos recently.
Do you guys remember when we had what was it like 2 minutes or 30-second time limit for all of our promos for a thing?
Okay, with that one, I wasn't told that we had a fucking time limit.
And then Feywind went 15.
I wasn't fucking told we had a time limit for that.
And then ever since then, no one's posted a promo for the pre-shows because they don't want to be Feywind.
Feywind killed the pre-show.
Feywind killed the pre-show.
No, but this was silly. This was goofy. I liked doing this. I don't have anything to add. Do you guys before we get on to match 1?
No.
I mean,
match 1
with my promo. I was just gonna say with my promo, I was trying to sound like a bit frantic almost, which A will probably explain the shortness of it, and B I was just hoping that
don't explain the behind the scenes of a character. Don't explain your character's motives. Let it be a mystery. Let it remain.
Yeah. But keep doing that, and then make it obvious. Smile. Smile. Anyway, on to match 1. It was Jacob versus the aforementioned guy on steroids, that being Wolf. This was ultra violent rules ahead of Jacob's ultra violent title match next week at Spring Break. What is he greeting? Okay, I think he just is doing his blinds. Hello. Oh my god, go to the light, Jacob. Go to the light. Oh my god, with your bald head,
And
that is
the Lord
cursed as
said,
fuck. Let there be light. Yeah. Yes,
I
this
am
was
Jesus.
Jacob versus Wolf.
I am Jesus.
Ultra violent rules. Lot of blood, lot of pain.
I don't know anything about death matches. This was my first ever attempt at anything even resembling a death match or Extreme Rules. So this was a proper first for me, which made me very happy because it means there's things I could fuck up and do badly.
Well, you
and
did
I can get
great, 'cause
feedback.
I really enjoyed this. I found this really fun. I think I forgot you guys can actually
Jacob's
see this
crashing out right now.
now. Yeah, if you're watching the visual, you can see him doing this.
Yeah.
Put
This is for the
headphones on,
audio
bitch.
listeners.
Oh, nice high road to shore. Okay. Just give him a moment to sit back down, and we'll get back to our regularly scheduled programming. There he is. Hi. Yes, there were some very cool spots in here I liked. Some unique ones. The stapler one, obviously, not so much unique. I just liked it, and then picking it out with the what did you pick it out with?
Box cutter.
Box cutter. Yeah, I like that.
I staple
that was
closed
funny.
his wounds. I was a doctor.
I
Get a
liked the
wound
use
here
of
and a wound there.
the fucking crowbar as well. You just jammed it in his skull. Wolf should be dead by the means, but I
I
digress.
ripped a hole through his cheek and stabbed into his skull.
Yeah.
You gave him the warhorse.
This
Nobody's
was
gonna get that. Nobody's.
no, yeah. This was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. I'm very. I think I said it in my question the other day. I'm very excited to see how Jacob goes working with a guy whose whole gimmick is deathmatch now, considering how well he done himself with it. I think this Jacob versus Shift is going to be fantastic. Once again, has to be mentioned, Wolf randomly just got really good.
Yeah.
Stepped up as per usual. Wolf looked good in this as well. I loved this. This was a really fun match. Holt?
Other people
Faywin?
compliment me now.
Okay, so.
Wacko Driver fucking popped me.
Yeah!
Wacko Driver was so good.
Wacko Driver, fuck
Wacko
the
Driver,
fans!
fuck the fans.
Fuck the fans.
I can pull up the entire conversation on. Well, I have my cameras on. Okay.
Hello, Tiffany.
Hello.
Let me find you the conversation. Yeah, so Shift suggested I hit some goofy version of the Psycho Driver. Wolf suggested the bitch ass driver. I suggested a kiss of death because it's a Psycho Driver, but with none of the impact. I then suggested Psycho Driver, I fucked your wife. Shift said, name it something stupid. I suggested Sociopath Driver because, YouTube gimmick.
Yeah.
And then Nuck said Sociopath Driver is too good of a name. It's got to be something really fucking lame. And then Nuck suggested Crazy Driver, damn your face. Wolf suggested Synfluencer Driver. I then said Wacko Driver.
Yeah.
And then I suggested Designated Driver.
That's kind of fire.
And then everyone voted for Wacko Driver, and then I suggested Wacko Driver Curse Your Existence instead of Fuck Your Life. Nuck then suggested Wacko Driver, and then just fuck. Nothing else, just Wacko Driver. Fuck. And I suggested Wacko Driver. Wacko Driver, I'm crazy.
Crazy? That was crazy once.
And then Nuck got to Wacko Driver, fuck the fans. I'm gonna go turn my light on again. Be right back.
Yeah.
Keep complimenting me while I can't hear.
Okay.
Sucked. He's a bitch.
Wanker.
He's a little bitch. bitch, and I fucking hate that. And I hope he
Sucker!
gets killed by Shift next week.
He's just standing in the fucking shadows. Look at him.
Oh my god.
What did I do?
Hey Jacob, your match fucking
Holy shit, it's
sucked,
the
and it was
Hat
the worst
Man.
match of the night.
What did I do?
I'm getting a screen.
Yeah, it's the Hat Man from Class of 09. Flip side.
A Dark Aria.
Yeah, this is the Dark Aria, Jacob Sterry.
Holy
in the
shit.
back. But no, yeah, I've said
You
my
guys
piece.
do know
You
I
guys
can
got anything
still
to
hear
add?
you back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Good.
guys got anything to add on?
All right. This was my match of the night. I love this. This was great. Always loved Jacob Sterry's work. I love Wolf's work. These two work really well together. I
You
thought
should have
some
seen
of
our
the shit was
first match
crazy.
together.
Yeah, which one was that?
I can't remember what show it was, but it was fucking dog shit.
I'll watch it back and I'll let you know. If it's ass, I'll give you 10 minutes of me screaming into a microphone that you suck and you should have never gotten your chance at the spotlight title.
I've seen that one before.
No, but yeah, this was great. I love this. Great for deathmatch, my match of the night. Yeah, good stuff overall.
Very fun match.
Now, Faye wins. You
it was
can't
fun.
me.
Mr. Wind.
I did. I said the Wacko driver popped me.
Now,
Was that
compliment
the
me
only
more.
part you liked?
Tell me
God,
how
what
great
else
I
is
am,
there?
but more.
It was a good death match, given the fact that you have no fucking deathmatch experience.
Yeah, he was trained by the King of Extreme. Make it make sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I rewatched that match in the
Dobby told me to
commentary
mention that on
Yeah.
commentary.
Nuck just fucking killed it though. Thanks, Nuck.
I was gonna
Fuck
say
you.
it was during Dobby's recording. You see him type it, send it, and then you hear Nuck go. It says here on my fact sheet,
okay.
Jacob was trained by
that was
the King
Colt.
of Extreme. Oh yeah, Colt said it.
And then Nuck's just
Yeah,
like,
because
okay.
Dobby gave me the fucking notes.
Thanks, Nuck, for not selling that entire angle.
You know this giant story that's been going on since we came back between me and Dobby?
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay.
That shit had me tweaking. Yeah, this was fun. I don't have much more to add to that other than I liked.
My
Anyone
camera's been
else
out
got
of
anything
place
to add?
this entire time. I'm going to kill myself. I've just fixed it, but
I know,
works.
bro. Good thing to
Yeah,
add.
no,
Is it time for the promo that happened after
The
Yes.
promo.
by Holy Shifferton? I don't have a lot of thoughts on this.
This
promo. I think this is
bastard called me out while I was getting medical treatment. This bastard doesn't have the fucking stones to call me out to my face.
Jacob Stone. See,
Jacob Stone. Like it says on the back of my jumper?
Yeah.
Me?
This shift promo was fine. I really don't have a lot to say on this one. I'm just
Ship
excited
is
for
a
the
fine
match.
promo. He's a
He's
fine
a
promo.
fine
He-
promo.
Yeah, he's solid enough to where
Yeah.
like all of his promos work. Like I don't think there's ever been like a really like dog shit shift promo, nor has there been like a really like notable shift
Yeah,
promo.
like a
He's just
standout
somewhere
good
in the
one.
middle.
He's
Yeah,
just a
And that's
solid
fine. That's
promo
fine.
guy.
He's like an
He's
exceptional
like
promo.
average to above average,
He's
which
great
is
at
Yeah,
being bang
average
average.
above average.
which is still a good
Yeah.
place to be promo-wise.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
He's in the
I
perfect
really
don't know, I
position
just-
for the
enjoyed it.
championship he has.
I like hearing Shift's voice. I like Shift's voice a lot.
I like his
He's got a
voice. He has a
soothing
good voice
voice.
for it.
Yeah.
I really don't have a lot to say on the promo. I'm just excited for the match between Jacob and Shift next week.
As
Yeah.
you should be. It's going to be fire.
I
I don't know
and-
what
and-
happens in it yet.
Whoa. Has anyone got anything
Jacob's
to
gonna
add
fucking die.
before we get onto our next match?
Nope.
Nope.
No, cool. The next match being Atom versus El Wormo. Ooh.
I don't have
Um,
much to say on the actual match. I won't.
I was
lie.
gonna say, I think we said this last week,
Yeah.
but what happened after the match is
So
way
much
too
bigger.
noteworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Atom
Yeah.
versus El Wormo was a fine enough match. Don't get me wrong. I don't
Good
think there was
weekly.
anything wrong with it. It was a good weekly
It
match.
felt like
nice
it felt
win.
like a weekly mid card match.
Yeah. Oh god, we're doing it again. Doing it again. No.
It felt like a great mid-card weekly
It was
match.
good mid-goal weekly
It
match.
felt really
It's
good.
all it
Oh my God.
was.
It felt really good for a weekly mid card. That's all it was.
It was a fine match. I liked it. Atom got the win. Atom needed the win. Good. Like it. Cool.
Yeah.
Good
but
job,
what happened
guys.
after was very noteworthy. That being Atom cuts a promo and is like, "Hey, I'm Atom. I have a book, and I
that's
like
it.
Buy my
randoms."
book.
And then out comes Cass, who fucking shit cans Atom out of the ring,
Is he
and
a
then
bitch?
immediately rushes El Wormo. Finally gets the mask off. It was a Liku
Who?
this whole time.
Isn't that the guy that got fired?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the guy
Yeah,
that
That I
got
that's
definitely-
not
Why it's so
possible.
shocking.
That
It's
I
obvious.
definitely
It's
didn't swap
obviously a
cases with.
doppelganger.
Yeah, that's his
Doppelganger?
brother Bliku. That's his brother Bliku. His twin brother Bliku.
That's not what.
That was
Nux
my
on, Jerry.
joke.
I
He
had
stole
like a
my
weird.
joke.
I made a joke first. I just had a really weird name that I can't remember. It was funny.
And then I chose
Um,
Bliku because AB.
Can't wait for Clickoo. Clickbait. Oh my god. Whoa. But no, yeah, this
Clickbait
was
in the
obvious.
Rumble.
This was
Confirmed.
This was interesting. This was obviously the long-term plan. I think all of us knew it. I'm not too sure about.
I don't know
it
what you're
happening
talking
on the
about.
weekly. I'm
My
not huge on it happening on the weekly, but
Neither am
I
I.
liked the moment.
my only wish is that we got El Wormo in the Rumble, and then later on, after he's eliminated, we get a Licky. And this is how
Yeah,
a
oh,
Licky
that would have been
returns.
incredible.
It's just no. It's just the same fucking attire. Nothing
Yeah.
changes.
Literally
Literally
everything's
just
the
him
same,
taking
apart
off the
from the
mask.
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You
like,
know,
oh
I
my
feel
god,
like
a Liku.
I feel like this could have been saved for, if not like the Rumble, then the pay per view after. I feel like
Yeah.
the way it's been built, this should have been a pay per view moment, and not just, hey, here's it weekly, but with like minimal fanfare. I liked the moment. Don't get me wrong. I was a big fan of it, but I feel like it was not on the right place on the card. I think Nut and Colt sold it really well in commentary, but like I said, on a weekly,
Yeah,
it
I was
very
just the biggest
iffy.
fucking douchebag of all time on
Yeah.
commentary.
What I'm hoping for is, you know how on Twitter recently Jacob Cage has been fucking crashing out over how everyone's
Yes.
betrayed him. I'd love to see like a heel run of him where he's like, "You lied to me. You said you were fired. All this, all that. You pretended
Yeah.
to be my friend as El Wormo," and like proper just crashes the fuck out because he's been lied to this whole time. That could easily lead to a match between those two at XC.
Yeah.
But
It's
would
not-
you want Jacob Cage to turn heel?
Jacob Cage
But
being a
how
heel
would
would be
Yes.
great.
wait? Okay,
Evil
I
Jacob
mean,
Cage
it would
beats
be
you
interesting,
total.
but how would you have like Jacob Cage as a heel portrayed? Like, how would you like portray him?
drunk.
Like, what would be ultra drunk?
No, he's just a drunk.
Oh, just
Teetotal.
drunk.
He's like an alcoholic. He's a TV.
He's a raging alcoholic.
He's an abusive parent.
Yeah,
I was
He's-
about to
he-
say an abusive parent.
he's not
He
like a
beats his
fun
kid.
alcoholic anymore. He's not a fun alcoholic
He's not a fun
anymore.
alcoholic
he's a raging
anymore.
alcoholic.
He's
he's
like
a raging.
like he lobs the bottle at you and goes, "Bring me another beer."
Jacob Cage just covers vodka promo.
He's
He's like, wait, this shit fire. I'm gonna kill a Liku now.
Jacob Cage gets off his face on moonshine.
not allowed to drink anymore legally. He has to go to an AA meeting. It's like that Daniel Bryan has to go to anger management therapy. He's like, "Why is he wearing a goat mask? Why is he wearing an El Wormo mask? Are you trying to taunt me?"
Not again. But no, this was. I like the moment. I'm curious to where this will end up. Presumably something to do with Cass, maybe also Terra, and maybe a Liku and Wolf, maybe because we saw Wolf.
Gets
come out at the
another
end of it.
UV versus DDD match.
Oh god.
No!
Oh, no. At least
Not
it's like
again.
a slightly different iteration, I guess.
Do I
But
get to
this-
interfere
this-
on this one?
This feud is never going to end, is
Does
it?
Breezy get to
Jesus.
stop you
And
again?
and
Yeah.
then nothing comes of it. I interfere on this, and then nothing happens. Guys,
I just
this
And
wanna
was
then we
point
all
such
out-
just
a good
accept
idea.
it.
I just
Yeah.
want to point out, Wolf came out after the match and he still had the hole in his head. Bro just did not go to the medics. bro did not even like attempt to get stitches or go to a hospital. No,
Yeah,
He
he's still
just-
bleeding.
he's just bleeding out of his head. Didn't even.
He's
like,
got
wipe the
Kool-Aid,
blood.
he's fine.
Maybe it was Kool-Aid coming out of his wound. Is his blood just Kool-Aid? New debate. Is Wolf just made of Kool-Aid at this point? Maybe, I don't know. Wolf-Aid, man. Cool. I feel like I've said everything I need to say on
Yeah,
the fact that
same.
I think it was done too early. I don't know where this is going. If it's a tag match, I'm kind of bummed. I don't
Mm.
want to see another tag match,
I'll
really.
just-
To be
Yeah,
honest.
get ready
be
for
fair,
the tag match.
We've only had
Oh,
El
God.
Wormo for 3 months. Like, this could have
Yeah.
been built a lot more.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's not even 3-4
but-
months. It was February until now.
Yeah. It was okay. I liked the idea, and I think it was just the good angle executed too early,
Yeah.
personally.
Like
But this
I
wasn't
loved last
bad.
week where they had a tease of showing who it
Yeah.
is, but executing it the week after.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's a bit
naff.
anticlimactic to me. Sorry, I was warning. Yeah, I don't have a lot more to say on this other than
Blame Nuck,
really for
blame
me.
Nuck, blame Nuck.
Also, if Wolf ran down after the match, why didn't he stop Cassidy, who
Well,
also would have been backstage?
Well, ran
Wolf
down.
heel turn, Wolf heel turn. They're in cahoots. I
They're in
fucking know it.
cahoots. They're both joining
Yeah,
the
Ran down.
TS.
Yeah.
Ran down
so
is
Jacob Cage.
generous. He limped down and collapsed on the stage. So you know,
well, he could have tried a bit harder, couldn't
less so.
Yeah.
Maybe, but he also had a hole
Fucking
in his head,
undersold it.
so, you
What a
know.
Bro,
bitch.
show some team spirit.
Smells like team spirit. Sorry.
Hard body Nick Gable reference?
Oh. But I don't have anything to add. I think it's time we move on to the Fly High promo. Yeah?
Wait, could you imagine how fucking funny that would be? Like, there's a fucking tag match with all three Aliku gimmicks versus, like, Kaz, Wolf, and Jacob Cage. It's like Aliku, El Wormo, and fucking hard body Nick Gable.
That would be fire.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Bruh. But yeah,
it's just Aliku changing skins every 5 minutes.
He has to tag himself in, change his skin. Hot tag again.
That's awesome. We're good Brookers. We should run the show.
Let's put that on BPW.
But
yeah.
True. But I think it's time for the Fly High promo, the pre-recorded one. Where they turn the camera on and they speak about words. Yeah.
Why was Jimmy so romantic?
He was feeling romantical.
Like
Jimmy was feeling really bisexual tonight.
Like, no, I'm sorry. The promo he's cutting is on about like someone who's his father figure leaving. It sounds like he's breaking up with him. It sounds like he's talking about an ex. Like, go back and watch it. He sounds so romantic.
Was he calling him father this whole time or daddy?
No, but then when he starts talking to Rich, like, I think the main bit I remember of it
is his new boyfriend.
Yeah, is him saying something along the lines of, "It's not because of Breezy I got this, it's because of you." I could see him just going, "It's because of you, babe," and like stroking his cheek.
Oh, Fly High, okay. That's the take.
I just want the romance angle, don't I?
You do.
We have established.
You're feeling really bi tonight, Jacob.
Right, yeah, you're feeling really bi tonight.
You're feeling really bi tonight.
He's trying to kiss us now, yo. I don't remember like a lot of the main promo. What stands out to me is the end part, where someone calls Jimmy, presumably Avery. Has she finally called him back? Have they finally got an ally in this little war?
No,
we don't know because Jimmy didn't say who it was because he's a bitch.
Yeah, what bitch? He could have been like, "Hey, Avery, this is me, Jimmy," and he would have told us the answer, but he didn't. Maybe it was someone trying to reach him about his car's extended warranty. Who knows? But no, this is
support.
Yeah, exactly.
It was me calling him, telling him that he's got the B title.
They
Fuck
asked
off,
Jimmy
does
why
he?
they asked Jimmy why did he redeem. But that's like what I remember most about it, and also Rich saying he wants to face Jimmy for the world title. Poor Faywin over there. Faywin was like, "Why does no one want to face me?" Because everyone who says they're going to win the Rumble says they're going to go after MWC.
I'm desperately trying to make this
Hey,
feel on the same level as the world title.
Someone?
I mean, yeah, other than Jacob.
I said I'm going to win the Rumble, and I'm going to go after the B title.
Yeah.
Well, we did a good job. I think we made it feel
You agreed?
I agree.
Well, yeah,
B
title.
Oh,
B tier world title.
This was a fine enough promo. It was pretty good. Yeah, they did speak about the Rumble and being weirdly romantic with each other. But no, yeah, this is obviously this building towards something between Breezy and Jimmy. I think that much is clear. But I liked it. I think this was cool. I don't have anything else to add. Does anyone else have anything before we get into?
All right, we're locking it in. Avery heel turn. Avery's gonna come back. She's gonna fucking turn heel on Jimmy. We're locking that fucking in. We are locking that in. There is no fucking. There is no universe where we keep Avery a face in this situation.
When are you thinking this happens?
This is gonna. Hey, listen, I fantasy booked Dexy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm fucking saying?
You know,
It's
I
better than
predicted
me.
at the
Avery would
Rumble
come
now.
back at the Rumble. I predicted that Avery's coming back at the Rumble. I think I'm locking in on that. Avery's gonna come
Yeah.
back at the Rumble. She's not gonna like turn heel immediately.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's gonna win. Where I did predict where Avery would turn heel was locked away in the chamber match. I had Avery Jimmy in the final two. Jimmy goes over, retains his belt. You know, Jimmy's
Yeah.
like, oh hey, you know, better luck next time, Avery. You know, we can still be friends after this, right? Right?
Uh-huh.
And then Avery just
Dick
attacks him
kick.
from behind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
kicking the dick. Dick kick. That's what
Yeah.
Faywin did to her.
Yeah. Kick. Oh. That was
Yeah.
Jacob.
Kicked her in the girl cock.
Oh yeah. I forgot you canonized that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was interesting.
Me and
I'm
Faye were
curious to see
terrible people.
what this- Yeah. Yeah. I don't have.
I mean, I hung my former best friend from a steel cage with the chain. I feel like it's established I'm not the best person.
Yeah, Faywin,
Yeah, it
we
wasn't
get
even
it.
the end of the
You
match.
had a
Fuck
steel
you.
cage match on a pay-per-view that was worse than mine and Dobby's on a weekly. We understand.
Hey Jacob, that was a pretty good weekly main event.
It was. That match felt like
It was a good weekly.
weekly
It
main
felt
event.
like a good weekly main.
All right. I think we're good to move on to EQ versus
great
Kyle
weekly main,
Cordova. What on February 2nd? Sorry. I think it's time for EQ versus Kyle Cordova. I really like this match.
Do
I
you want
think
to know
this
what
was
I
fantastic.
think of this match?
Yeah.
This match had maybe my favorite spot ever, where
Yeah.
EQ pulls out the phone, does the Drew McIntyre board at work tweet.
Yes.
She
She
says,
got 12 stars in like
She got
under 10
12
seconds.
stars
That was like a
immediately.
fucking
Heat.
record. Because everybody
Fire.
just rushed to Twitter chat.
Yeah, she posted the image. It says world champion to this. Cruz must think I'm some kind of joke. And it got 12 stars immediately, like Colt said. I think it's sitting at 19 now, 18 or 19.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
So good. I really like the match as well. I think this was the way I saw it, I was like almost biting, thinking Cordova was going to get some sort of like upset roll up when Colt came out. But obviously we saw Colt punch EQ in the face, and that gives EQ the DQ win. What is Jacob doing? I literally just looked back at the camera.
Hi, Jacob.
Hi, Jacob. Faywin, I guess it's just us now. What's up, Faywin? Oh no, Jacob's approaching. Oh no. I'm not going to join in on this. You guys can't even see it anyway. This is gonna be really strange if you aren't watching the visual version.
Other hand, Colt.
They're all like they're all stood away from their cameras.
Colt, use your other hand.
Okay. I don't know how to respond to this. I'm Dobby. Hello.
Alright, yeah, I'm bored of doing that.
Cool. At least one of you did. Anyway, I'm just gonna wait for Lem to sit down before we carry on.
Colt's probably still got his headset on.
They're back. Yay! No, he
Hey,
didn't.
gang. Oh,
I'm
a
but
loser,
yeah,
I
this
guess.
I think this match was really cool. Yeah, Colt cost EQ the match and then talks about the plan, and Colt's like, I don't give a fuck about your plan. Kill yourself. Okay, maybe not phrased like that,
And then
but
he slurs
it was
at
along
him.
those lines.
I feel so
Yeah,
weird
slur.
saying him. I hate it so much.
Yeah, no, I had that when I was like scripting with EQ, for the tag match. I was like, what pronoun do I put here?
What do I do?
Him, her, they.
This is
I
what the
don't know.
woke mob virus has done to us. We've gone
Ooh.
woke.
MWA
We used to be
gone
Exactly. It was woke.
every single day.
No, I think this match was what Kyle needed to like basically like build off of and actually have like a good opponent after Jacob to like actually have a chance to do stuff with. And I think EQ made Kyle look really good and got some like nice offense in. And I kept
Yeah.
thinking he might get a win, but he didn't in the end because Colt cost him that, and he was very angry about this as well. He was crashing out at ringside.
Such a mean little
but-
baby.
But obviously, the big focus of this was Colt with his very dark eye bags and his messed up hair, and kept going, ow, ow,
My red eyes
ow, his red eyes,
and the bandage.
bloody tape.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just texting my brother back.
Bastard.
Dude.
I need
Anyway.
the Jonathan Colt
Cocksucker.
bum-ass Corbin gimmick.
No, we're not
Yes.
fucking doing that. We are
Jonathan
not fucking
Colt
doing
bum-ass
that.
Corbin.
No, we're fucking doing that,
No.
Colt.
No, we're
Dumbass
fucking
Colt.
not. We are not fucking doing that.
No,
Do not give Nug
this gimmick
any
would work
ideas.
so well. Jonathan Colt
No,
bum-ass
the
Corbin.
fuck. No. If
Jo-
Nuck tells me we're doing that, I'm leaving the server. You will never hear from me
Jonathan
again.
Colt bum-ass Corbin.
No, we are not doing bum ass corn. I'm not a fucking mid-carder. I'm a main eventer.
Yeah, but you could do it well.
Card, Mr. Mid-Card. Mr. Mid-Card. Sorry.
Also,
You're
very-
Mr. Mid-card, motherfucker. What are you talking
Hey,
about?
your
I'm a
only
former
title is
world
the
champion.
TV championship. You're in
Hey,
a
we just
call
got-
with 3 people who have technically been world champion.
Wait.
Sure.
Okay, hold
Biggest
on.
snap
Hold
during
on.
this.
Hold on. I may be a former TV champion, but I was the greatest TV champion of all time.
Yeah, and I was the
10
greatest
fucking
spotlight
defenses of the belt.
champion.
Colt.
The longest defenses the longest fucking days at 91. Like, I made that title mean something. I fucking made it mean something.
Most
What
What
defenses
did, what did
of
Tommy
the-
do with the world title
most
that made it
defenses
mean
of the
something?
spotlight
Being the
championship.
most important TV champion is like being number 1 in a special ed class. Like, come on.
We're so close to set 7.
You got the visual for that one as well as the audio one. Now you're getting more of a visual. If you're not watching the video,
I just need
Colt
to
is
be known
crashing out.
on the video. You can't see him do this, so it's just his fucking ass.
Oh, Colt was so angry he throws it back on camera. I think Colt died. Do we want to carry on talking about this while Colt is on the floor dead? We got so wildly off topic today.
Bum ass Colt.
Bum-ass Colt.
We have-
No, this was.
we have-
this
We
was-
have former Febo versus
Oh my
current
God.
Twink.
Ow!
that headset. Ow.
So, Colt,
He's
what's your
back.
thoughts on former Femboy versus current Twink? Also known as Equinox versus Kyle Cardova.
EQ's no longer my Pookie Bear. I fucking hate her.
No. This is
She's-
the
she's-
saddest development.
She will remain my wife.
My wife.
Just-
I like
just
this match.
Don't
Like I
tell
said, though.
Tiffany.
Yeah, don't actually. She
The
knows.
the
though.
She
selfie
knows
spot
she
was
walked in on
good.
the wedding.
The selfie
sick.
spot was good.
Mm.
It was a good match.
Good
No,
match.
no other further comment.
This is going to almost definitely lead to EQ versus
Do you want to-
Colt. I
do you want
could
to
see
know
that being the
what-
XC thing.
I think of this match.
No, sorry.
Good.
Go on.
It's a good.
It's
a good weekly co-main event.
A good
weekly TV match.
It's a good match for television.
The world will end on February 2nd. Sorry.
It was great for a 7-minute match on TV.
No, this is fun though. I enjoyed this a lot. Does anyone have anything else to add except for it was a good weekly match?
I want to see where this leads for Kyle because recently, like,
Yeah.
Limbo.
I mean, he had it's like his own. Yeah, but like he's been selling the fact that he's been losing match after match.
Do you want to
So
know what
I
think
kinda
it
wanna-
leads to? I think it leads to him winning a multi-man ladder match for the national championship in
Yeah.
Extreme Chaos.
See, where I see Kyle going from here in the immediate future is Rumble script. Entrant number 8 eliminates no one. Eliminated by Colt.
Yeah.
No,
That's what
yeah,
it is.
I just don't see him doing anything like immediately with this. I feel like there will be something in the future, but like right now, like we said, the roster.
What if
so
Kyle
stacked.
Cardova gets like a Maven type elimination on like a main eventer?
That would be crazy.
That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
That gives him a feud.
To
Yeah.
be fair,
locked away.
Kyle eliminating Nat could work. And then
Yeah.
That could be
Colt dumps
interesting.
Kyle out and goes, "That was my elimination, you bum."
There was a plan, not the plan. You're welcome. When Colt gets eliminated
plan?
by, and then Colt gets eliminated by.
The
Tim Swift. Oh no, not D.
Fiend!
Okay. I don't think.
The king among men and the god among kings.
Right. Before we get on to talking about
and the
Lap Guy,
predator among kids.
I think. Oh my god. I think it's time to move on to the main event. Yeah. Onto the main event. This being Breezy versus Schmoppy Dop. Hey Phelan, you were there for this one as well, kind of.
Yeah.
I was too, but technically I wasn't because I was on the camera. Yeah.
I was in
This was a. You were.
Jacob was there as well.
Hello, Slunk.
Hello, Slunk.
He forgot to do a
Hello,
slash
Slunk.
me because things were going too fast.
Yeah.
I was
Get it
very
ready and
high.
everything.
Uh,
When aren't you, bro? When aren't you? At
It
this
was
point?
literally the only slash me he had to do in the entire
Yeah,
match,
first
and
he
he
dragged
fucked
out.
it.
And I didn't do it. This was a fun match. There was. I mentioned it in my question of the day. There was a little bit of ring rust by Breezy, but that is to be expected.
He was like
This was-
stressing in call.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I still like this match. I think there were some really cool spots in it. Obviously, Breezy and Doppel have good chemistry. This was a good weekly minute. Sorry.
It's a good weekly minute.
Good for a weekly main.
I really enjoyed this. I love these two. I think they're both great in-ring workers.
I think they're both
feel
great
like-
kissers.
Well, Doppel.
I mean, one of them's a great.
Wait
Wait a minute, Jacob.
I
I think you were projecting earlier.
Hang
no,
on.
bro. Oh no, bro. Oh no, bro.
What is it with the top arrogant heel?
No, but yeah,
True.
I think this leaves them 1-1 now because obviously Doppel ended up winning this. So I would like to see this revisited one time.
I'd
in
like
the
to see
future.
this on a pay-per-view. Please,
Yeah.
thank you.
And make it a good pay-per-view match.
Now give
It's
me a
gonna
sloppy
open the
kiss.
Not a
card.
good weekly match. Sorry. I liked a lot of the spots here, like the big pounce and stuff.
Big Pat.
I really liked the spot where Breezy pulled himself up out of the tree of woe, and then Doppel just come behind and fucking blast him with a forearm, and he falls to ringside. That was
good.
cool. Good spot.
Wait, did you guys notice like towards the end when like Breezy did that dive over the top rope and he hits fucking Faywin, and you can hear Knuck on commentary go like, "Oh my fucking god!" Like he was like upset or something. Did any of you hear that?
Yeah, I did as well. I know that was because I'm presuming that was because Jacob didn't do the slash for me, and that's why he was tweaking.
Oh,
I think that's why he did. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, this is a fun match. I think the ending spot was a little fucked by Jacob being really high.
I will
but
say,
no,
I will say, this match deserved a better crowd because
It probably
a lot
did,
of people
yeah.
were so fucking dead for this match.
I think a
mean,
lot of
the
people
main
who
part
were the
of the
crowd were
crowd were in
involved
the
in it.
match. Yeah.
Yeah. I think everyone's
Yeah.
sort of involved in this. It was like me, Jacob, Doppel, Breezy, Feywind. Everyone was sort of like involved in the match, so it was kind of hard to chant for it. Which kind of let it down. But I still think this was a really fun match. I enjoyed
Don't
it.
worry, you got Iliku carrying you guys in the crowd. Iliku and
Hell
Adam.
yeah.
MVPs, let's give it up for them.
Atom's a new MVP of the crowd. That guy chants for everything. I love him.
Me and
Shouts out Atom.
Feywind were backstage during the entire match. And during it, we decided it would look better if Slick had blood.
That looks good.
So during the match, I made a blood skin.
I respect it. I respect the time and effort. But no, this is cool. Seeing Doppel get the win was nice. Seeing Smile together, hell yeah. I mean, I'm in Smile, but hell yeah.
I was Smile.
But I'm Dobby. But you're, but
Hello, I am
Cass was,
Slonk.
but Cass was Dobby.
I was
Interesting.
hit by Breezy.
You were, and that was funny. Haha. This was cool. This was fun.
After I pulled you in.
Doppel gets another. I kind of see what Ritz means in the fact of this is pretty similar to the EQ story where I lose a big title match and then Doppel is the next one up. I still think the match is going to be fun, but I can see where he's coming from with that. I don't think it's a bad angle. I think Doppel's getting a chance at a big title, and I think that's great. I love to see that. And I'm just hoping the match delivers. Feywind, I'll beat the shit out of you if it doesn't. This is a verbal threat.
Yeah,
Feywind.
I'm not.
Feywind,
like,
important question before this match. Before you continue any further.
What?
How many bolded move kickouts are you going to do?
72.
None.
47.
Good answer.
Yeah, I let him kick out the Exodus, and it was the best falsie ever. Fuck you.
It was a great falsie.
The best falsie ever.
Again, thank you for convincing me to do that.
You're welcome.
Imagine never kicking out of the Exodus, am I right, Feywind?
Imagine.
Dobby, who has kicked out of it? Just me and Wind?
I'm pretty sure it is you two. Is it you two? Yeah, you two. I think I pitched it to Kaloki, but we couldn't work it in. Then Kaloki tried to get me to kick out of all of his specials consecutively. But you know, if Kaloki is Dark Aria, please don't try and hit your finishers 17 times in a row and then have someone kick out, please.
That would
That's
be
all I
bad.
ask you. That's all I ask you. I don't even know. I don't think Kaloki listens to this, but please.
No one listens to this, Dobby.
Yeah, I mean, hey, no, we have fans. We've got like Atom and Terra.
Oh, Tim.
Yeah.
Tim. Doppel.
Yeah.
Feywind,
Doppel,
you can't say you when you didn't understand a bit earlier from the last episode.
True. Yeah, you are lying, Feywind.
You lying scumbag. Don't lie to us
Yeah,
again.
I
We'll
think-
kill you.
I think that's all we really
Please do.
have to cover for this show.
Yeah. Short episode.
We have an exciting next 2 weeks though, with spring break and then
I'll give
the
you
pay
a
per
gun
view.
for it as well.
Oh my god, he's got a gun. But yeah, I don't think I have too much more to add.
No.
If you guys don't, then we can wrap this up here.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything to add.
Jacob,
This
I have an
podcast is brought
idea.
to you by the MWA.
No,
By the
no
MWA
sponsor.
donations on PayPal.
Oh, okay, actually, that one's fair.
If you go to, I believe it's announcements. I don't know if it is pinned, but there is a link somewhere to donate to the Minecraft Wrestling Alliance, and that can help fund the server and keep the server alive.
Go to Elijah Nevlin's PayPal page and
That
give
one.
him
Go to
all your
Elijah
money.
Nevlin's PayPal page.
Okay,
and give him
do
money
that one.
because
Jacob,
we want to keep the server
to end
alive.
the podcast.
Yes.
To end the podcast, do you want to show Faywin what tradition is live on the podcast?
I mean, it will fuck up the cameras, but I can.
It will be. It's worth it. I think.
Or are you about to ban me or whatever?
Faywin, we would never do something like that.
We would never do that. And
I'm
there goes
Faywin now.
Faywin doesn't get to do an outro. Thank you guys for tuning in. Though. Are we good to end it, fellas?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's a yes. Okay. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Join us next week as we cover spring break. Yay! Bye bye.
Bye, gang.
Bye-bye.
Whoa.